Hello everyone, and welcome back to a Gran Turismo time trial video. Yes, I've missed a week because I was on holiday. I'm back from holiday. What are we doing? Well, we're at Watkins Glen for this one, and we're in Gr.4 cars. Any car, in fact. Tyres are racing hard tyres. Go difficulty. Now, last time I said it was easy, then went to medium after a car change happened. This time I'm going to say it's easy. I think this one's an easy one compared to all the other time trial challenges I've seen. And the time estimate for gold, around the 156.6 sort of area. Now, we are on the road to 40k subscribers, so if you do enjoy this video, do subscribe to the channel and give it a like as well. It's hugely appreciated for all the support, and we are getting closer and closer to the 40k subscriber mark. Right, that's it for me. Let's jump straight into the video then. And coming through this right-hander, you're really going to want to get a good line to start this lap. There's a 10th in it all the way to turn 1, so make sure you get a very nice line. I'll tell you how to do that last turn at the very end of this lap guide. Let's turn off that ghost then. Let's head towards turn 1. And you've got two markers here. Now, I normally use the 200 board and try and get as close to that as possible. Not on it, but as close to it. Okay, there is that end of the barrier there. It's very hard to see as you're driving. I've just highlighted it there in case you want to use that. But it's just after that and just before the 200 board, okay? And as you come into here, you're going to chuck it into the right-hand side. Now, be careful going too much over the curb. There is a bit of a bump there. And be careful about going too wide because you will get a penalty. Of course you will. So we speed up the hill then. This is all flat out. Just be careful running too wide on that corner. You really want to carry the speed through the corner as well because this is a long acceleration period. As we head towards the chicane then, on the left-hand side, we've got the 300 board and we've got the marshal box there. We're actually braking in between those, okay? And we're going to point the car towards the first apex. It's a bus-stop chicane, so you're sort of going out to come back to the circuit. So just after the 300, just before that marshal box there, we hit the brakes. So we dropped to 4th gear here and I took it left. And now I'm going to boot it through the corner here and over towards that right-hand side. Now, as I'm going through here, I want to keep the steering to the right. It keeps the car loaded in terms of where the weight is. And as that start of the curve there hits the edge of your screen, that's when I lift, okay? I just lift it a little bit. I will start to dab the brakes as I want to slow the car down a little bit more, and you're going to start to see that here. Notice I dab the brake there a little bit, just trying to keep it around 100 mile an hour. I've just dropped below that to 96. This first piece of tarmac, okay, very critical. This is where you want to start being on the throttle. Maybe 25-50% is going to be your first acceleration marker. Then what you're looking for is that marshal box there. I love New York. You can see it right there. It's very obvious as you do it. That's where you want to be 100% on the throttle. This is where you really push through the corner now and try and use a lot of the curve on exit. Don't go too wide though. All four wheels over the white line is a penalty. And down towards the left-hand here then on the right-hand side we have the 200 board. Now, I'm going to brake as that hits the edge of my screen, okay? And this corner, very hard to get right, okay? You don't want to go too early and turn in too early, okay? So you sort of want a middle-of-the-line approach. And then you're going to keep it tight for the rest of it. Notice how I come in here, middle of the line. And as I go through here, I've got two accelerating markers here that you can use. Now, as the fence comes in and meets the Armco down the left-hand side, you can use that. Or the fence on the right, as that hits the edge of your screen, the end of it, that is also an accelerating marker, okay? You don't want to go too early here. So these are actually quite critical to use. And notice that as they hit the edge of the screen or the center of the screen, depending which one you use, I was then foot to the floor. As we head towards this right-hander, it's uphill, so you can brake quite late here. Now, you're using 100 boards. I've highlighted both here. The one on the right, as it hits the edge of your screen, is perfect. Or you can just judge it based on the left one there and really start to push and go into the corner. Now, you can brake late because you're going uphill, so obviously you're going to slow down that a little bit more because uphill, you go slower. Now, as you come through here, you want to accelerate quite early, okay? So really boot it out of here very quickly. And you've got a little bit of runoff there that you can use there as a bit of extra piece of tarmac for your benefit. As we head towards this right-hander, I would argue this is one of the most difficult corners on the circuit to get right in terms of braking because it's after the 200 board. Now, you'll notice there's a lamppost that's also highlighted there on the left. It's nearly as that hits the edge of your screen, but I found it hard to use that as I did try, but it's just after the 200 is when you're going to brake. Don't brake too late for this one. Brake early and then turn in. Now, I'm going to highlight the center racing line there, the dark patch as you go through the corner. If you're towards the right-hand side of that line, that means you can start accelerating essentially because you're taking a tighter line. Use that as a bit of an accelerating marker, a bit of a guide as well for the corner. As you head up towards this left-hander, there are two markers here you can use. I've used both before in the past. You've got the 100 board, trying to brake as close to that as possible. Or alternatively, you've got the dead tree on the right-hand side. Now, dead tree is very handy here. It's literally as it hits the edge of your screen, you're going to hit the brakes. Again, don't turn in too early. Take a wide line in. And as you start to turn left here, I noticed this accelerating marker. You have the marshal box in front of you. A very good accelerating marker here. As that hits the center of your screen, okay, that is when you're going to start to accelerate. And you should make the corner absolutely fine. Just be careful about that barrier coming into the circuit there a little bit, but you should make it, as I did there. As you head towards this left-hander, this isn't one you brake for, this is one you lift off for. So you got both 100 boards here. It's as the left-hand side hits the edge of your screen. If you don't want to use that, you can just judge it based on the distance to this 100 board here. But essentially, you're going to lift off, and then you want to get on the throttle quite quickly to keep the car balanced and try and maintain some form of speed. Use a lot of the curb as you hit the exit there, and as you approach the final corner, you have many brake markers here. You can try and get as close to the billboard or as the barrier change happens there, or on the right-hand side, it's as that lamppost hits the edge of your screen or as the tent leaves the screen there on the right side. Use either of these. Now, it's very easy to understeer on this corner, so as you turn in here, you want to clip the curb. When you can clip the curb is when you're full throttle. Now, you notice I lifted a little bit there because I was a little bit too early, carried a bit too much speed. You have to be very careful there. That cost me a tenth or two, and that's a 54.3. And that is the lap guide here at Watkins Glen, the time trial challenge. Hopefully this is of use. There's going to be some more updates to come as well. If there is anything you want to see improved on the video, do let me know. Obviously, these are new, and I've just started these. So if there is something you go, Tidge, you could do this, Tidge, change this, spend more time on this, etc., do let me know in the comments. I take all feedback positively, and I will use that to better the videos going forward. That is the lap guide of Watkins. Why did I choose a Ferrari? You're probably asking. The Ferrari is my go-to Group 4 car because it's not only the most balanced, it turns very nicely, and it's got good top speed. It's an all-round great car, and it is one you can get gold with. But choose the Group 4 car you want to use. I've given you lots of markers there to use as well. That should help you with the lap, and that is going to be it for this video. If you did like it, once again, do give it a like, subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content and help the journey towards that 40k subscriber marker. But once again, huge thank you as always. I appreciate all the support, and I'm back, baby, from the holiday. So let's kick off some more present content with 2 videos there that you can check out now. Thank you once again for watching, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.